Hey, hello, that's me up there. And that is the Carenado Beach Bonanza, the non-lawyer killer version, the standard tail version, and it's got the Simcoders reality expansion pack in it, and we are heading from Boston to Martha's Vineyard. And as you can tell, the conditions are not unbelievably hot, and we're not in icing conditions, but I've got our pitot heat on, and actually turn our landing light off for the moment. We've been dinking around with this thing, and I've been having the dickens of a time doing things like starting it, because it is pretty realistic when it comes to things like not flooding the engine and not over cranking the starter and all that other good stuff. But for the moment we're at 3,000 feet. We're inbound to Peak, which is our initial approach fix, and let me just show you what's going to look like here. Let us see. The weather is pretty damn overcast, and let's see. We want to hit Peak at, let's see, it's 14.7 DME. It looks like 2,500 would be just fine. Let's see, choppy 1,700, yeah, that'll do. So in a little while, not too long, we will come down to 2,500 feet. Not that far at all. I've got the autopilot in right now. We are following a GPS flight plan, which will take us to the IAF, which is 30 nautical miles away, give or take, 31 actually. And the only beef I've got with this is the Carenado plane has got scroll wheel support, which is good, except you can't disable, at least I don't know how to disable X-Plane's scroll wheel zoom. So if you hit the target and you scroll with it, that's great, and if you miss the target, you'll just end up zooming in like that, and who the hell needs that? So anyway, let's just and I'm also struggling to use this twiddly fiddly thing, because in real life it is totally wonderful, because you can use these knobs very, very easily. In non-real life, it is kind of hard. One other thing I want to check is I want to see whether they fixed the range bug, which is whenever you zoomed out or zoomed in any more or any less than 35 nautical miles, the frame rates went to hell. I believe this is New Bedford, but I'm not sure. Oh, wait a minute. It's actually telling me, and it's KPYM, and I don't know what that is. So let's find out. I should know better. I do not. It's Plymouth. Okay, well that makes sense. So actually we're going to end up flying out to about there, to Peak. And we will transit Otis Air Base's Delta, or Charlie, and we'll head on in, and Martha's Vineyard looks like we're actually going to have a slightly unfavorable wind, which is fine. I want to try this thing out in some nastiness. Overcast 2994, we'll set that up. And the autopilot, being the good servant that it is just bringing us down a little bit. And actually, let's just do a quick slow a immediate slow descent to 2500. Do you see what I mean about this being fidgety? I turned off the scroll wheel support, but if you look here, what are you going to get? You're going to get that. Now I want to be able to go up just a little bit. I want to actually get that to 2500, but of course that ain't happening, so we'll have to settle for 2510 and call it close enough for rock and roll. We're in GPS mode here, as you can see. I've actually got my course, instead of having it set up so that it makes more sense navigationally, which would be about like that, I've got it set up for our localizer course, just for convenience, so it's one less thing to switch when we get there. And I can already see we're not deviated, and I can already see that we are okay on the map. So let's just zoom in a little bit and see if that kills our frame rates. I don't think that it does, which is a profoundly good thing. Let's try that and zoom out and try that. It seems more or less the same. These are, by the way, SkyMax clouds and SkyMax's real weather connector. So but working knobs with a mouse is fiddly. Working knobs in a real plane like this is a pleasure. It's tactile. It all fits together. Everything is fine. So let's see, how far away are we from peak? We are 20 miles from peak. I'm just going to come down a little bit here, but I'm going to remember I have to arm my altitude, and I want to set a V speed, and I don't want to go up, I want to go down. Not quite that fast. Just a nice leisurely 500 feet per minute. And we're just going to let the speed creep up because we're nowhere near our maximum speed. We are cruising at about 23 by 23. It's 23 psi manifold pressure and 2300 RPM. Here's the Cape Cod Canal here. We are right over we're coming right up on the Sagamore Bridge. And all I can say is thank goodness I'm not a Kennedy. But you didn't hear me say that. That would be mean. Alright, so we're loafing along at 2500. Local altimeter is set. We've got at least some contact with the ground, but we're more or less in IFR conditions. As a matter of fact, we are in IFR conditions. Let's see if it models the traffic circle, or the rotaries as they're called in Massachusetts, down below us here. Be hard to tell. Alright, check our outside air temperature. It is nice and balmy. Our cowl flaps are open. They probably don't have to be. Our temps are good. Our fuel is good. Our course is good. Now I suspect what we'll have to do when we get within range here, I've got the localizer tuned in right there in nav 1. What we'll probably have to do is switch the autopilot into heading mode and flip over into radio navigation instead of GPS navigation as soon as we get to peak. And we're 13 miles from peak. And we've crossed over into the Cape. And it just occurs to me, I don't know how to turn on my flight director, so let's figure that out. That's how I turn on my flight director. See if I can toggle it off that way. No. Alright, there is Otis, so we're in the right place. Otis, my man! He loves us. And we've contacted Otis Tower, and Otis Tower has just told us, you know, if I was you, I'd be, and I replied, leaving! What a good idea! So we're going to be leaving shortly. Alright, excuse the little bit of moire and posterization, but that's just an artifact of my video card, and it might even just be on my display. You might not even be picking that up, but these things happen. Let's see if we can make it go away by getting a little closer. That makes it worse. Well, you know, these are minor things. And excuse that sound. I have got an auction going on eBay here, and the bidding is fast and furious for a gold pocket watch from 1916, found it in my uncle's attic. It's where you find a lot of things. Let us let's actually set this to, let's set this in nav 2 as well, so we can monitor it as we go. Oh, you know what? That's my standby for nav 1. Here's my nav 2. A minor little thing. What is it? 1087. God, this is fiddly. 1087, pop it in the old active. Come on. There we go. Set 234. Admittedly, it's not going to let us, as long as this is in GPS mode, this is not, well, it might show us. It should show us. It ought to show us. Alright, we're 4 miles from peak. Let's do our landing checks here. Pitot heat is on. I'm not going to turn the boost pump on yet. Landing lights are on. Let's turn all the lights on. Let's just get our asses lit up here. Poor visibility. A what? Alright. It is showing 15 miles DME from L localizer. And as you can see, we're going to make the turn right there. Let's get us down to a 5-mile range here so we can see what we're doing. Our heading bug is squared up. Our HSI course is set. And you know what let's do? Let's get into heading select mode now. And let's toggle ourselves over. And let's see if we can find, and look at that. And there's our, whoops, there's our localizer. So when it starts to move, I'll arm it, and in we will go. And we are below our glide slope, and I'll arm our nav right now, and let's see if it makes the turn. Let's bring our props to full, mixture full. Slow down to a sane approach speed. Not that sane. Alright, we're going to blow through it a little bit, but with any luck, not too bad. With any luck, a little bit bad. Alright, waiting for the glide slope to come in. Put in 1 notch of flaps. Feel the airplane slow a little bit. Again, we're DME 13, so we're a decent ways away. Our course should actually be 2, 3, 4, right about there. So actually we're doing all right. Just waiting for our glide slope. I assume that means glide slope, not the other thing. And I have done a very bad thing. I've gotten ourselves too slow. Not scanning. Should actually be going about 100 right now. Okay. Come on, glide slope. Ten miles away. Oh, this is going to be pretty sporty. Anyway, judging by the way we're tracking, we're not facing a gargantuan crosswind, which is good, but we're probably, let's see, what's our ground speed? 111. We've got about a 6-knot tailwind, so that should make things fun. I'm looking at ground speed here, since we're going directly at the station, versus airspeed here. And let's see, 9.7 miles. 11.6 is our intermediate fix, and we should be at 1,700 feet there. Okay, here comes our glide slope. Let's see if it starts us down. There we go. Alright, 8.4. Choppy is 11.6. Can put our gear down. Bring in a little bit of power. Yeah, for some reason our RMI doesn't work. Alright, there is our runway. And I just want to see how this thing tracks down down ye old glide slope here. Figure out what a good, sensible power setting is for a descent. Looks like it's about 21. What I'm doing is I'm looking at my speed and looking at my power setting and just seeing what power setting gets me a sort of sane approach speed, since the airplane is already pitching to stay on the glide slope. So that's why I'm doing that. It will continue to maintain the glide slope if we add a little more power, but it will now pitch us down at a higher rate of descent, and I don't really want that. So let's see, do we have 3 notches of flaps or just 2? Just 2. Alright, so I'm going to come back to about 20 inches. That should give us about 80 something over the fence. And although we're not flying a hyper precision approach, it's just, it does have a radio altimeter. And this will probably light up when when we hit the decision height. We're 4 miles out, 1,100 feet up. That's about right. This thing's flying it very nicely, but it's no fun. So let's just do it ourselves. Matter of fact, let's do it ourselves on instruments here, the way one should. Got a little bit of a left to right from our ass here. I will tell you this much for free: I don't like flying double V-bar flight directors, but it's just personal preference. I've got a lot of right rudder cranked in here. 700 feet. I mean, a lot of left rudder, pardon me. And a little bit of left aileron here. A little bit high. Hey, but who isn't these days? Slow down a touch. There we go. Alright, well, take it from there. Yeah, there's quite a bit of...
Minimums.
Oh, thank you. Keeping in quite a bit of left rudder and a little bit of left aileron too. Alright, let's see if we can squeak it on. A lot of crab. Ooh, that's bad. And it says good landing. I don't know about that. That was more like a hairy landing, but let's gently roll to a stop here at some point. Try not to ground loop it, please. Is it that windy? Let's see. Well, nice looking airport. Please, please, brakes, please, 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 please. There we go. It's at 129 feet per minute. I doubt that. It might have been Might have been 129 feet per minute on the third landing we did there, but look at those clouds. That's pretty good. Still getting the knack of the ground handling this thing. Hey, you know what? That sort of looks like Martha's Vineyard Airport there. That really does, with the little shingles. Cool. Let's ram some fuel trucks. Why not? It's right next to the fire. Right next to the firehouse, so I got lots of people here. Pull up next to this ATR monster. And this airplane actually requires... it's not going to let me set the parking brake till I let off the real ones. Requires you to more or less set things right. So we can turn off our avionics. We can turn off all our lights here. Actually, I don't want to shut down the engines yet because I want to replay that landing. And sometimes when you shut down the engines, you alright, this I don't think this is going to be pretty, but maybe I'm wrong. Now we're already sort of cocked into the wind here. We're a little bit crabbed and we're a little bit wing low into it, which is not bad. It's getting out of it and sort of finishing it off that could be better. So let's see how badly we do here. Plane looks good. Alright, so I'm guessing I flare early, and I'm guessing here we go. We start to drift. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I've got hard right rudder in. Oh, gee golly. Well, not a thing of beauty. Hang on, let's see it from another angle. Like I want to see it from another angle, but just means I gotta practice. Okay, didn't flare enough. Well, no, I flared too high. Floated. And then, of course, all hell broke loose. What?
You go home and pack your panties, I'll go home and get the scanties, and away we'll go. Oh, off we're gonna shuffle, shuffle off to Buffalo, shuffle off to Buffalo.
All right, well, I think that's where we're going to have to leave it, because I think I'm going to have to tow this little guy back to the hangar and do a little bit of work. So hope you enjoyed it, and I think the channel hit 800 subscribers, so whoever the 800 subscriber is, thank you. Thank you very much. And the other 799 of you, thanks for sticking with me through all my BS trying to figure out how to fly some of these things. But I think we're going to have fun in this airplane. It's beautiful to hand fly, and it's equipped to go where you need it to go, and there's not much not to like except for the fiddly ass controls. So with that, I will see you real soon. Bye-bye.